So, in this video, I'm going to be going over 3 reasons why I feel that fitness and overall physical health is a huge major constraint on yourself as well as your business as an entrepreneur. If I could advise somebody one thing to completely change their life and everything that they do in their business, it would be to get physically fit. And the reason why is the discipline required to get incredibly fit in whatever mechanism you so choose is above and beyond what most people are willing to do. And fitness is one of the only things that can't be bought. I couldn't buy a 100-mile run if I tried. It's impossible for me to buy my way through that. It couldn't buy my way through a 50-mile run. You couldn't buy your way to a 500-pound bench press. Obviously, you can pay for consulting and food plans, etc. But if you don't do the discipline itself and become almost maniacal about it, then you will not achieve the results that you desire. Whereas in business, you can kind of fake and fluff your way through a good majority of things and or be good at leveraging money. But where could you be if you were actually disciplined enough to take yourself to whatever level that you were capable of? Fit entrepreneurs and or business owners have more energy. It requires a ton of energy to run and operate your business. Fit and healthy entrepreneurs tend to be more productive, and they also perform better under stress as well as tension in the workplace, because when you're training for, let's just say, an Ironman or a 100-mile race or training to be a bodybuilder in a competition, whatever discipline is required never goes perfect. So the most obvious reason why a physical fitness and or having a great foundational base of health and wellness is going to be that you're going to have increased energy. Running a business is incredibly exhausting. You have constant decisions that you have to make. You're constantly under stress. Things never go as according to plan. Nothing is ever straight. It is very much wandering at all times, and you're waiting for the next punch to come to your face. So, being light on your feet and being on your toes, metaphorically and literally, is a great advantage, and certainly why you should constantly challenge yourself and become healthier as an entrepreneur. Whenever I was 300 plus pounds, I was eating Zaxby's every single day. I felt that I didn't have enough time in the day. And I was also always just exhausted. And now I have a great deal of mental grit and fortitude. At least I thought I did. I wasn't very disciplined with the grit and fortitude, but I essentially just told myself, you're tired, whatever. It's because you work so hard. But really, I just did. My energy sources were entirely depleted. And so once I started actually training and building my foundation, and very specifically doing what I hated to do, which was running, I I probably 3 or 4x my energy. I am literally never tired at this point for the most part. And I am go, 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 go. And I get tons of work done. The second major impact that your physical health will yield better results is your stress and anxiety. I used to be incredibly stressed. I now only have maybe every couple of weeks a particular day where I just feel overwhelmed. And even then, it's funny. I just go for a run and it goes away. And I realize that what may seem like an emergency to me right now is not really an emergency. It is just more of a reactive situation that I have yet to take control over. So nothing is really typically so urgent that the sun won't rise tomorrow. And even if it is, you will probably solve the problem You just haven't solved your way through it just yet and or built the action plan, because that's all anxiety is it comes from a place of many options but a lack of priorities, meaning that you just haven't given the priority to that specific situation just yet, and you haven't built the game plan for it. So you are in a state of worry. Uh, when you are working out and or let's just say running, I'm going to use running in my case, but you can replace running with anything. You are introduced with rainy days. You're going to have a niggle in your knee and it hurts. You're going to have ankles that hurt. Maybe you have a blister on your foot. You're going to have all these things that are going to present to you why you shouldn't do it. And yet you do it anyway. The third thing is basically increased confidence. I feel that getting in shape, because it's something that you definitely can't buy, and also accomplishing something great, such as running a 100-mile run, one, it becomes undeniable. Nobody can take that from me. Just like building a huge business and exiting out of it and selling it, or building a great team and or having a great leader in your team go and do their own things, and you were a major part of that. Nobody can take that away from you. You're essentially stacking evidence that you are worthy of everything that you are receiving. And when you become undeniable, like you become unshakable in your willpower, to where when you do get punched in the face, like you get right back up and you keep going. And so when you have a doubter or a customer who says, well, we decided to go with somebody else, blah, 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 it doesn't bother you nearly as much, because you know that you're just going to do what is required to go to the next thing to get where you're headed. You don't need to have all the wins. You're going to have the losses along the way. And when you have so much confidence from doing something over and over and over, and proving to your brain that it's going to be okay no matter how you feel, then you just keep moving forward. And no man's land now just becomes a place where you kind of smile and just say, yep, I'm almost there. I can feel it, because right now it really hurts. And every time I get to a position where it really hurts, it ends eventually. And so can you just go one more step? And if you can just get one more step, then can you get the next step? And eventually that 100-mile race is over, because it took 31 hours for me to complete a 100-mile ultra. It rained the entire time. I was in an incredible condition, but there was one thing I could not prepare for: rain. And it rained literally half of the event. And there were people literally losing the entire bottoms of their feet. And as an entrepreneur, I had to become very strategic with how I was going to take care of my feet and build out a game plan real time while I was at the event to finalize the mission. And it's just like business. If I hadn't proved to myself all of the evidence that physically I could do the achievement, then the rain would have been an immediate deterrent for me actually completing what I was set out to achieve. And I don't think there was ever a single moment in that 100-mile event that I felt like I need to drop out. I had some bad lows. I remember there was one moment where I sent my good friend Trevor a video, and I just looked at the camera and I just shook my head no. And I only did that because I needed to get it out of the way. I didn't do it as a plea for help. And you know what? What I love about my friends is he didn't even say, "Are you okay? What's up?" He just said, "You got this." And so he believed in me as well. Why did he believe in me? Because I'm undeniable. I essentially never, I think I missed 4 workouts in 4.5 months of the training. And they weren't always the best workouts, but I certainly put in the work to prove to myself that I controlled the controllables to get the outcome that I desired. And so my workout routine and sticking to the discipline of that workout routine got me the results that I wanted, and the process revealed that it worked. Now, some of you guys are in business and you don't realize that you setting up your SOPs today are going to help you dramatically 1 year from now because it doesn't put money in your bank account today. You hiring an operations manager that you need to train over the next 6 months to become the person that replaces you in the back of the house so that you can focus on leading and developing other people's on your team, they're not going to yield an ROI probably for 3 to 6 months, depending on what their job description is. But you have to trust the process that is in front of you and understand that no matter what, there are results on the other side. And sometimes they're not the results you want. It could be that that person quits on month 3, but you take the information that you learned, you get better at hiring, and you hire another one, and you do it again. And you keep repeating this until you get the results that you desire, because eventually you will get to the end of that particular mission. But you have to just take one more step. And that's the problem with most of these people is they're 1 freaking year into their business. They're like, oh my God, this is so hard. I don't know what to do. I'm 4 years into this. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm about to lose everything. It's probably because there's something that you aren't doing that you're avoiding that you need to do. And so essentially the only reason why you're afraid in that moment is 1, you've been bullshitting yourself the entire time and you're not actually doing the work, but you're putting out this fictitious thing that you are. I did that. I was the hardest worker everybody knew, but I was exhausted. I just spent a lot of time at my shop. I was not effective with it. Now I spend no time in my shop, and guess what? I'm incredibly effective with it. To where I only have a couple conversations every single day within the workplace, and it is moving forward and on the tipping point towards getting us to the next level. And it's insane. Never would I have imagined that I'm in the position that I'm in right now. I just believed in the process of getting there. I paid for consulting, I paid for coaching, like many people do, and nobody takes action. I took massive action on the plan. And until I started running, I didn't ever take massive action. I wonder why. It's because I wasn't disciplined. I could just pay my way out of everything. But I can't pay my way through a physical feat. And so running this entire time has been a metaphor for me that I am strong enough and I am disciplined enough to get whatever it is that I desire. To the extent that most people say, I'm going to train for a whole year to run a marathon. I said, I'm going to train for 4 months and do 100 miles. So wherever you want to go, take your 10-year dreams and condense them down to a year and decide, what actions do I need to take today to get to where I want to be 10 years from now, 1 year from now. And it's going to hurt. And you're not going to want to do it. And you're not going to want to get up the next day and do this mundane thing because you're not seeing the results that are coming your way. And it may still take you longer than a year, but the point is, it's not going to take you 10. Because if you put a timeline for 10 years, you will procrastinate it for the 10 years. And you're also not guaranteed the 10-year deadline either. You will land on 11 or 12. Why? Because you procrastinated. So essentially, you need to decide on what actions that you need to be doing on a daily basis that will yield the results based on those plans. And so becoming physically fit was the biggest unlock for me, because the more that I worked on myself, the more everything else came together. The more that my team believed in me, the more that my family believed what I was going to say. Because for years, I was like, I'm building this business, but I wasn't making any progress. So I'm building this business, no progress. And I was making progress, don't get me wrong, but I was trapped within it, right? But whenever I'm building a business and I'm also running 4 hours on a Saturday and 2 hours on a Wednesday and 2 hours on a Sunday and 1 hour every single day other than that, and taking Monday and Friday off, people start to believe you. Because now you're showing them the real evidence of the work. Because I could sit at my shop and act like I was working and nobody could really tell. And I had to get really real with myself and decide that I was going to remove time away from me. I was going to condense my time frame because I was done procrastinating. So what are you procrastinating? And what do you need to do today to ensure that you meet your goals for tomorrow? So I wanted to make this video to show all the technicians out there who may be stuck learning to be a business owner and they feel that they don't see a way out, that it's 100% possible. Because if a 300-pound man can run a 100-mile ultra in 2 years of total workout time, then you, over the course of whatever time you decide, can become a legitimate business owner and work your way to the freedom that you desire.